Namaskar. You all on behalf of the International Vedanta Society to this live session on YouTube. At the same time, for the last two sessions, we have been connecting with you through Facebook also. So even in this session, we are connected to you through Facebook. But as I am seeing that there is a problem with the Facebook, so let me kindly try to fix it a bit. Kindly give me some time for connecting it. I don't see any. Just a minute. Kindly bear it with me. So I had to cancel the live in WhatsApp, in Facebook, but I will sure try to do it so that because there are also some devotees who have requested me to go live on Facebook, so I request you all to kindly bear with me a few minutes so that I can connect. Yeah, we are connected. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for having the patience. And we are now live both on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So I can see now that our friends from all over the world, they are joining in gradually from India and as well as from outside India also. Bagus from Indonesia, Dulalji, Dr. Resham Chattopadhyay, Kalpana ji, all from India, from various parts of India. So I welcome you all to this session, to this special session, because this is the first session in English that we are going live both on YouTube and Facebook. And as in our last two sessions in English and Bengali, in this session also we will be having an extended period of 15 minutes. So it will be 60 plus 15, 75 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes, and the first 45 minutes we will be dedicating it to discussion on Vedanta and today's topic, that how does the Advaitist explain heaven or hell. And the next remaining period, like 30-35 minutes, we will be dedicating to the question and answers which I get from you. The questions may be or may not be from this session. The questions must be on Vedanta or religion or spirituality, and you can also have questions from your own or also from this session which you are going to hear. Welcome Yuri from USA. So we are being joined gradually one by one, and I also welcome all our friends on Facebook Live. So if you have questions, please do post your questions, and I will be taking them up in the question and answer session. So we know, actually, that right from our childhood we hear a lot about religion and many things about religion, and one of them is heaven and hell. Welcome Laura Troop from UK, London. Very good evening to you all. So right from our childhood we hear a lot of things about religion, and especially we hear about heaven and hell, that we are being told by our elders that if we do good, then if we dedicate ourselves in doing good acts, then we will be going to heaven. We will be achieving heaven, or we will go to heaven. We will be rewarded for our good deeds, for our kind acts. And on the contrary, if we do acts which are not good, if we go in the evil way, then we will be punished and we will be going to hell, and there will be a lot of tortures and all those things. And all those things we hear right from our childhood. Welcome, David, from Spain, Barcelona. These are the things which we hear and we are brought up, and I myself, I have heard it, and almost all of us has from our childhood, we have heard these things about good and bad, about good and evil, and doing good takes you to heaven after your death, and doing bad makes you suffer hell. But these thoughts, these thoughts actually gradually, very gradually, they go deep down into our mind, and this brings us, or this creates a sense of fear in us. And all throughout our life, what we know about religion is this heaven and hell. Doing good takes you to heaven, doing bad takes you to the hell. But if instead of hearing about heaven and hell, if we hear about Vedanta, if we hear about the real essence of religion, if we hear about the real essence of spirituality, then we will no more have any fear about anything, and we will not hear about this weak things about religion. And that right from our childhood, they form a wall which prevents me from going to religion or from approaching religion, because I know, because there is hell, and if I do bad and these and that, there are so many things which comes to play whenever we think of religion, because right from our childhood we have been hearing these things. Instead of these weak thoughts, if we can speak to the young ones about the self, the nature of the self, if we can speak to them about Vedanta, then they will no more be fearful of religion or spirituality, if they can get the taste of real spirituality. If they can hear Vedanta right from their childhood, then he will know then that he is born not to do any weak things, or he is born not to think any weak thoughts, but to think of the divine, to act in a selfless way, to act for the good of others, for the benefit of others. But these thoughts, they have to be instilled into them, and there lies the difference that we unknowingly create in them. And that is why all our life, we try to run away from religion, we try to run away from spirituality. It is not the problem of religion or spirituality, but the problem is the way it is served to us right from our childhood. In each and every religion, there is hell and heaven. This concept of hell and heaven, and with these thoughts, unknowingly these fears come in us that, I don't have to go in this because there are a lot of things which I have to go through. So rather give it up. But if one can know about the real essence of spirituality, like, Bhagavan says very clearly, he gives the example of a coconut. Now, a coconut is a very beautiful thing, a beautiful fruit. When you break it, when you go inside it and break the hard shell and you get to the essence of that, the white thing, the main essence of coconut, then it's so sweet and you can make so many dishes out of that. Even the water of the coconut is so sweet in taste. And suppose you are being told by someone that someone comes and says that, oh, I ate coconut and it's very rubbish, it's so hard and you cannot tear it and there is no taste in it. It's tasteless and it's worthless. You go to eat it and your teeth and your gums and your lips, they will be just like anything, and you will be bleeding all over your mouth and your tooth will come out and your gums, they will bleed and there will be all sort of dust in your mouth. Whenever you hear this, someone speaking about a coconut after tasting it in this way, then you must know that actually he has tried to go to the coconut at the very beginning. That means he has not gone to the essence of the coconut. He has tasted the outer shell, which is actually not to be tasted. In India, there are a lot of coconuts. I don't know. In Indonesia, I think also, yes, there are a lot of coconuts. In USA, I'm not so sure. But you get nowadays everything everywhere. So when you get a coconut, like it is in the tree, when you just bring it down from the tree, the way you get it, you don't eat it in that way. There is a procedure for eating the coconut. You have to first take out the external cover, and then you get a hard shell. You have to break the shell. There will be water inside the coconut. You can even taste the water. It's very tasty. It's very sweet. And then you get the essence, the white portion, the kernel of the coconut. And then once you get it, you can make many wonderful dishes out of coconut. But if someone says that I have tasted coconut and it's tasteless and worthless and your gums will be bleeding, your lips will be bleeding, your tooth will come out, they will break and it's all dust inside your mouth, then you must know that he has not gone to the essence. He could not go to the kernel. He did not found the kernel or the essence of the coconut. He just went to the external part of coconut. Similarly, if someone speaks about spirituality or religion, it's rubbish, there is nothing in it, there is only do's and don'ts and this heaven and hell and this, don't do this, he will go to hell, don't do that, he will be going to hell, don't do that, he will be suffering. That means he has not gone into the essence of spirituality, like the person who has just taken the outer side of coconut, who has tasted the outer side of coconut, the external part of coconut, which is actually not to be tasted. The same has happened with this person who tells you that there is nothing kept in spirituality, there is nothing kept in religion, there is nothing kept in Vedanta. That means he does not know the essence of Vedanta. He did not come across it. He has come to know the do's and don'ts of religion. That's it. And that is why he wants to stay away from religion. One wants to stay away from spirituality. And these things, unknowing to us or unknown to us, they settle down deep, they get sedimented in our mind, in our subconscious mind. And we unknowingly try to go away from religion, we unknowingly try to go away from spirituality. So we have to instill ourselves, we have to get the strong thoughts, the real thoughts about spirituality, the real words of spirituality, the essence of spirituality. Forget about where you will be going after death. You will be suffering because you have done a lot of evils. You will be suffering. You will be going to hell, and they will be going to boil you in hot oil and all these things. We have, right from our childhood, we have heard these things. That there is someone waiting for us after our death. They will be, measuring our good and bad, and they will be boiling us in oil if we do bad deeds. We will be going through hell. All these things, they only make us weaker and weaker. They make us weak. We have to hear about the nature of ourself. We have to hear about the nature of Atman or Brahman, which is verily me, which I am one with. Why? Because this, I will be reading a few paragraphs, if time permits me, from What Religion Is, from the book and the chapter Self-Realization Through Knowledge by Swami Vivekananda, where Swami Vivekananda says that all these, unwanted things, which are not wanted, but which consist, religion, there is in each and every religion, all these theories and all these things, to make us do good, to have a good conduct, that's it, for the ethics and nothing else. But if a child right from his childhood is shown the way of divinity in the right way, if he or she is told about the nature of his or herself, and that by the very nature of the self, one is divine, pure and immortal, then he or she will not do any bad or evil act. But he must be taught about this. He has to be said about this. We have to forget this concept of hell and heaven. There is no hell or no heaven. Whatever there is, it is in this very earth. On this very earth we suffer hell or we enjoy heaven. There is nothing else than that. At times, what happens with us is that we have a very good time. All my relatives or friends or some good things, some good news, and I'm so happy, so beautiful. I'm like flying in the clouds and feeling so happy. That's heaven to me. And at times when something unwanted happens, something undesirable takes place in my life, and I think that I am undone and I am finished, that is hell. When everything goes wrong and I cannot find a way out of that, that is hell. So whatever we suffer or enjoy, it is on this very earth. And this is how the Vedantin says. What does the Vedantin say? Vedantin says the Advaitist, just not the Vedantin, because we know that there is dualistic Vedanta, there is qualified non-dualism in Vedanta, and there is also the non-dualism or monoism in Vedanta. So how does the Advaitist explain these various phases of heaven and hells? And these various ideas we find in all religion, in every religion there is this concept of heaven and hell. So how does the Advaitist explain this? So Swami Vivekananda says that how does the Advaitist theory explain these various phases of heavens and hells and these various ideas we find in all religions? When a man dies, it is said that he goes to heaven or hell, goes here or there, or that when a man dies, he is born again in another body, either in heaven or in another world or somewhere. This is the concept that we know. When someone dies, we say, oh, his soul has migrated. His soul has gone, and we see in the films, in the movies, like a lamp, like a flame going out of the body, and we think that is the soul which goes to a higher plane, not to a lower plane, going to some other, phases, to some other planes, going to heaven, suffering hell. This is what we know, and every religion speaks of this. But remember, they are just to have the ethics, nothing else. It is not the truth. What is the truth? These are all hallucinations. These ideas that the soul is going out, we say, the Atma is going out and it is going to a higher plane or a lower plane. These are all mere imaginations, and Swami Vivekananda says it that these are all hallucinations. We have to come out of these hallucinations. We imagine all sort of things and think them that this is religion. No, that is not religion, that is not spirituality. That is what we have heard of, which has come to us, but that doesn't mean that it is real or it is the correct thing. Because Swami Vivekananda says that these are all hallucinations. Really speaking, nobody is ever born or dies. That is how the Advaitist beautifully explains that in reality none is ever born or ever dies. How can Atman or Brahman take birth? Because taking birth means it was not there, there was the non-existence of Atman, and after taking birth it has come into existence. But Brahman is of the nature of existence. It is existence itself. It is existence absolute. So that which is existence absolute cannot ever be non-existent. So Brahman or Atman, the soul, it never is born or it never dies. Dying means again to have or go to the phase of non-existence. So it is never that the Atman was not there and then it comes into existence and again after death it goes into non-existent phase. No. It is of the nature of existence. It is existence absolute. So that which is existence absolute. Can we think of sun without light? Never. Sun means light. So Atman means it is existence absolute. So in reality, really speaking, nobody is ever born or dies. There is neither heaven nor hell nor in this world. There is neither heaven nor hell in this world. All three really, what Swamiji says, there is neither heaven nor hell nor this world. Neither heaven nor hell nor this world. Even this world, what we see is just our imagination. As we imagine heaven or hell. So, there is neither heaven nor hell nor this world. All three never existed. This is the bold proclamation of the Advaitist. And how does he define it? That you tell a child that you see, don't after sunset, don't go out in the dark because there is a ghost, and it waits for everyone. Whoever passes through that way, he waits and he will be grabbing that person. So you don't go out. And suddenly that child goes out and there is a stump of tree at a corner of the road. Now whenever the child goes out, what will he see? He will be seeing a ghost with its arm extended, ready to grab it. He will come back out of fear. He will not see the stump of tree. He will see the stump of tree as a ghost which is ready to catch it. So he will just run from there and go back to his house. Because in his mind there is the ghost. It is not in the tree because that is a stump of tree. The ghost is in his mind. Now imagine a young boy coming out of the corner of a tree, corner of the road, ready or waiting for his beloved, his sweetheart. What will the boy see? Seeing the stump of tree, he will see, there is my beloved coming. There is my sweetheart coming. Then comes a policeman. What will he see? He will see, there is the thief. And then comes a thief. What will he see? There is the policeman waiting for me. But in reality, what is it? It is a stump of tree. It is neither a ghost, it is nor a beloved, it is nor a policeman, neither a thief. It is a stump of tree. The reality is as it is. It neither becomes a ghost due to the thought of the child, it neither becomes a beloved due to the thought of the boy, young boy, it neither becomes a thief due to the thought of the policeman, nor does it become a policeman due to the thought of a thief. It is as it is. They have all created their own world because they are used to think like that. Similarly, right from our childhood, we are used to thinking about heaven and hell and earth. And Swamiji says that in reality, there is neither this heaven nor hell, nor even this world. All these are hallucinations. This is the bold proclamation. This is a hallucination. This world is a hallucination. Even this world. Okay, heaven and hell considered, taken into granted. But this world, it is said, yes, even this world. When you sleep, when we sleep and we dream, in our dream we see a tiger chasing us. What do? Do we just wait for the tiger to pounce on me because it is a dream and not real? No. I run for my life. I run from there and I run as fast as I can in order to save my life. But in reality, whether I run or do not run, whether the tiger is able to catch me or not, whether it pounces on me and tears me apart, nothing happens to me in reality, isn't it? But I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait in peace that, okay, let it come and let it eat me, let it tear me into parts because it is a dream. But I don't see it as a dream. I see it as a reality and I run for my life like anything. Because I know that is real, that is true. But when I wake up, the moment I wake up, all the dream is gone in a moment, in a fraction of a second, like this. The whole dream is gone, and along with the dream, the tiger is gone, the forest is gone, my fear is gone, everything is gone. Within a second. Then I come to know, that was a dream, and I get so relieved, I get so relieved. Just one day I was having a talk with one of our devotees. So I said that in India, our examination system, though it is changing now, there are a lot of changes, but what we experienced is something very terrific, And still people of our age, they have nightmares about examinations. Going to the examination hall and the examination is already half an hour past, or even at times what happens is that I get the question paper and I get another set of question paper. I came ready for maths and then I see it's science, and it's a horrible nightmare. I see that all my friends have answered, but I cannot answer it. And it's so terrific. But the moment I wake up, oh, what a relief. What a relief that I am not in the examination hall. I am actually on my bed, sleeping and dreaming. What a relief. So I don't have to learn by heart. I don't have to face the examination. I don't have anything. I just had to do one thing. I had to wake up from my dream and then come to know the reality. That is the awakening state. When I wake up from the dream, along with the dream, all my fears are gone. All my worries are gone. Similarly, when I have this transcendental awakening, then I will see that this world which till now seemed to be so real to me, within the strike of a second, when we come to realize the self, when we come to realize Atman or Brahman, within the strike of a second, then we see that this world is gone forever. And along with this world, all the fears, all the worries, all our troubles are gone forever. That doesn't mean that this world vanishes. We have this wrong notion, and we, many times we come across questions as such that, Swamiji, what is it meant that this world is gone and means this world is false, it is not true, Brahman alone is true and this world is not true. This world is not true doesn't mean that the existence of the world is negated, no. What is meant by the term that this world is not true is the way we see the world, that is not true. And then I come to know about the true or the reality of this world, that it is Brahman. But that again does not mean that I will be not seeing different things. I will not be seeing my child, I will not be seeing my mother, my father, my salary, my job, my post. Everything will be there. Just be sure, everything will be there. But the mental attachment which gave you trouble, which made you suffer, that will no more be there, because you will know the reality that beyond all this multitude and manifoldness, behind all these things, there is one reality, and that is the truth, that is the absolute. And knowing that, you get rid of all your troubles. So when you get rid of all your troubles, you also get rid of hell and heaven. But at times what happens is that we try to get rid of hell, but we want to grasp heaven. That's not possible. That is the tendency of the human mind, We want to get rid of our troubles, but we want to enjoy the happiness. That is never possible. If you want to enjoy happiness, sorrow will follow. Be sure, because they are not two different things. They are two different manifestations of the same thing. They are not something which differ in quality. They are something which just differs in quantity. Like light and darkness. They are not opposite things. They are the manifestation of the same thing in different ways or at different levels. There is no qualitative change, there is quantitative change. If suddenly half of the light here, they go out, we will say, oh, it has become dark. And after some time, another 50% goes out of the remaining, we will say, oh, it's now more dark. So which is dark? After 50% of the light goes out, or the next one? So darkness means absence of light. So it is just in the manifestation, difference in the manifestation of the quantitative thing, not the quality. Similarly, happiness and sorrows, they differ in quantity of the same thing. They are the different manifestations of the same thing. But what we want is that, like very clever persons, we want to take the best, the happiness out of this world and leave the sorrows for others. You may try it for 1,000 years. You cannot. You cannot. Because the first thing is that in order to grab that happiness forever, you will be always tensed that that doesn't go away from you. So you cannot enjoy happiness. Because there will be always this fear of losing this happiness. And as long as this tendency will be there, we cannot enjoy happiness. So if we have to get rid of sorrow, we have to get rid of happiness too. So if we have to get rid of hell, we have to get rid of heaven too. And that is why we have to know the reality of this world, the reality of this universe. What is the reality? That never there existed heaven or hell or even this earth. These are all the imaginations of our mind which has sedimented from time to time, and this has given a shape which we see now. What is the truth? The truth is that there is one being, this self. That is the truth. There is one being, just one being. One existence, one consciousness, one knowledge. Nothing else. There is one being, this self, it neither comes nor goes. As we say, when we die, we will be going to heaven because he has done very good work, or he will be going to hell because who comes or who goes? We just don't see the person after he dies, after he is burnt or cremated, or after he is buried. But that does not mean that the Atman or Brahman has ceased to exist, because in reality there is just one Atman, not many. If we are thousands here present, that doesn't mean that there are 1,000 Atmans or Brahmans. No. That's a wrong notion. What is the right thing? What is the reality? There is one being, just one undivided, immutable being. There is one being, this self. It neither comes nor goes. When a man is ignorant, he wants to go to heaven or some such place. When does he want? When he is ignorant. It is out of his ignorance that he wants to enjoy heaven, or he is afraid of hell. It is out of sheer ignorance and nothing else, because hell or heaven does not really exist. When this earth does not exist, when this universe or world does not exist, how can heaven and hell exist when there is just one being, one self? So, when a man is ignorant, he wants to go to heaven or some such place. All his life he has been thinking and thinking of this, and when this earth dream vanishes, he sees this world as a heaven with angels flying about. It's all in his imaginations. Like the child who is told of a ghost which lives in that tree, and when he goes out in the dark, he will see the ghost. We have been said of such thoughts, or we have been, we have been hearing such thoughts right from our childhood. Don't do this, then this will happen. Don't do that, then that will happen. And these thoughts, these weaknesses, these fears, they have gradually sedimented on us, and it has formed such a strong layer that it's very hard to crack it. So what is to be done? Time and again, hammer it with these strong words of Vedanta. Hammer those weaknesses, hammer those fears which are sedimented in us. hammer with the words of Vedanta. Tell unto yourself time and again that I am verily that Atman which is birthless, deathless, immortal, which is of the nature of existence, knowledge and bliss absolute. I am that Atman, I am it. And this will hammer that block, that solid block which formed from right our childhood. And the moment this rock breaks, you will have the perennial flow of that nectar which will make you immortal. Actually, you are immortal. That will not make you immortal, but you can enjoy that. You can enjoy that nectar which has so long been hidden under this rock solid sediment of fear, wrong thoughts, weak thoughts. So time and again hammer these weaknesses, this rock with the words of Vedanta. And what does Swamiji says? Swamiji says that if a man all his life desires to meet his forefathers, he gets them all from Adam downwards because he creates them all. If right from his childhood he wants to meet his forefathers, then after death he will see that because he has created his own world with his imaginations, with his thoughts. So, if a man all his life desires to meet his forefathers, he gets them. Why does he get them? Because he has created his own world with his imagination. If a man is still more ignorant and has always been frightened by fanatics with ideas of hell, with all sorts of punishments, when he dies, he will see this very world as hell. He will see this very world as hell because all his life, right from his childhood, he has heard these things about hell and all these things. So he will see this very world as hell. All that is meant by dying or being born is simply changes in the plane of vision. So what does birth and death means? It is the change of vision, the plane of vision, how we see. What is the definition of death? Of course, there are medical definitions of there is a medical definition of death. But what do we see? That we have been seeing this person, and from the next time or from the next moment, I will not see this person. I have been talking to him. He has been talking to me. From the next time, I will not be able to talk to him, or even if I talk, I will not be getting any response, and he is unable to talk to me anymore. That means he has ceased to exist. Now let us take the example of a tree. The example of a mango tree. Now when from the market someone brings a mango and gives it to me, I taste the mango, it's very sweet, and I get the seed. I get the seed of the mango. I throw it in my garden, and from there a small plant, it sprouts. It comes up and gradually it grows big, takes the shape of a tree, the form of a tree. It grows even bigger with a huge trunk, many branches, innumerable leaves, and then the flower comes, and then again comes the fruit, the mangoes, full of mangoes, and again I get mango from that tree. So this cycle, first having this mango, getting the seed, planting the seed, and then there is the sprouting. This is life. What we say, birth. Okay, we are done. So when I plant the mango seed and it sprouts out, that is what we call life. It grows big, it grows again bigger with a lot of branches, innumerable leaves and fruits. and then again I get the mango. I eat it and I again get the seed. This is the life cycle. The sprouting is birth, when it grows and takes the form of a big tree, that is life. And when again I pick a mango and I eat it and I get the seed, the mango is finished, that is death. But actually what is it? When I ate the first mango and I got the seed, which I planted and from where the whole tree came up, the whole tree was in that mango seed, isn't it? Just in a form unmanifested. When I planted it, it sprouted, took the shape of a tree, that is the manifestation. The manifestation, but the whole tree with all its leaves and branches and innumerable fruits was there in this very seed, just in a form unmanifested. So, from the unmanifested to the manifest, and again when I pick the mango and eat it and get the seed, then again it goes to the unmanifested. So from unmanifested to the manifest and again to the unmanifested, this is what we call life and death. When it got unmanifested, it was non-existent. When it got manifested, that is what we say life or birth, it got manifested. And then again, when I pick the mango from the tree and I eat it and I get the seed, that is death. But these are all the different plane of the same thing. The total mango tree with all its fruits and all its leaves and all its branches was in that small seed, just unmanifested. So there was never the absence of mango tree. Had there been no mango tree really, then the mango tree would not have ever come up. I would have never got a mango tree. It was there, only unmanifested. So that which is unmanifested is what we call death. The manifested part is what we call life. As we beautifully get in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna telling to Arjuna that Avyaktyadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. That, O Arjuna, in the beginning everything was Avyaktadini, it was avyakta, it was unmanifested. Vyakta madhyani, madhyani means in the middle, it got vyakta, manifested, like the tree. The first thing unmanifested at the beginning, like the seed, and then manifested like the tree. So, avyaktadini bhutani, vyakta madhyani bharata, avyakta nidhananyeva. Nidhan means on death. Where does it go? Avyakta. Again to the avyakta, that is the unmanifested. What we call death is just going to the unmanifested form. So, tatra ka paridevana. So, why do you grieve? It has just changed its form. It has not ceased to exist. It has just changed its form. That's it. From the unmanifested to the manifested and again back to the unmanifested form. So why do you grieve? So that is what Swamiji says, that there is no birth in reality and no death, because for Atman or Brahman, how can there be birth or death? Because Brahman or Atman is of the nature of existence. It is existence absolute. And that is why Swamiji says, all that is meant by dying or being born is simply changes in the plane of vision. Neither do you move, nor does that move upon which you project your vision. Nothing moves. Neither do you move. How can I move? I can move to a place where I am not present, but the Atman is omnipresent, and I am verily the Atman. As long as I consider myself as a body, like the ignorant person, I will be moving, I will be seeing movement. But when I realize myself as Brahman, then I see that there is no movement of this Brahman or Atman. It can never move. Where shall it move? How shall it move? Where is the absence of Brahman that it will move? Traveling, what does one mean by traveling? Changing position from one position to the other, going from a position X to position Y. But if he is present at both X and Y at the same time, how can he travel? So Brahman is omnipresent. So movement for Brahman is not possible. And that is why Swamiji says that neither do you move, nor does that move upon which you project your vision. You are the permanent. Know this. The moment I know that I am the permanent self, which can never become non-existent, I overcome the fear of death. Because the fear of death is due to my imagination that I will cease to exist. So, you are the permanent, the unchangeable. How can you come and go? You are permanent. You know, like in our jobs, when we don't have a permanent job, we are always tensed. Until and unless my job gets a permanency, I mean the ad hoc basis, as we say, I am always tensed. Because at any moment my job, I may lose my job. But once I become permanent, I say, now my job is permanent. Similarly, know that your existence is permanent. Until and unless you know this, that your existence is permanent, you will have this fear of death, which is the greatest fear of all. So know that you are permanent, you are the permanent, the unchangeable. How can you come and go? It is impossible. You are omnipresent. Death, birth or death is just an imagination and nothing else. From the unmanifest to the manifest and back to the unmanifest. Why do you grieve? So all these, birth and death and heaven and hell, good and evil, are but our imaginations. Get rid of those imaginations. Know the reality. Be free and enjoy. With this, I come to the end of our discussion on Vedanta. And now I will be taking up questions from you all. And as I have got questions, yes, from the first one is from Dr. Resham Chattopadhyay. And Dr. Resham Chattopadhyay says that Brahman does not have birth and death, but this physical body has. After death, the subtle body leaves the physical body, and where does it go? How can we relate these two things? Please explain. You see, Dr. Chattopadhyay, the first thing is that according to Advaita Vedanta, this body is even an imagination, because in reality, I am Brahman. So this gross body or subtle body, these are all our imaginations. The truth is, as Swamiji said, you are the permanent, the unchangeable. So if I am the physical body, I am always changeable. We know that when I am talking to you, thousands and thousands cells of mine are dying and they are again taking birth. So it's changing all the time. But it is said in Vedanta, as Swami Vivekananda says, you are the permanent, the unchangeable. So this is not me. This is my body. This is not me. I am the one which is behind this, which is of the nature of Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss absolute. That is myself, that is my identity, that is my reality, that I know myself to be this body is not the reality. So the question of gross body or subtle body does not arise in case of Advaita, because Advaita speaks of one reality, one being, one consciousness, one identity. Know this identity and get rid of these imaginations of physical body or subtle body. How can Brahman have a body? It is formless. It is infinite. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It has been said in the Upanishads. That what is the nature of Brahman? The nature of Brahman is, it is Satyam, that is knowledge absolute, truth absolute. Satyam, truth absolute. Jnanam, knowledge absolute. And Anantam Brahma, it is infinite absolute. So, how can the infinite be limited to this body, gross or subtle? Until and unless I can recognize or I can realize this real identity of mine, these divisions of subtle body and gross body will go on, and you will have all sort of imaginations going from this plane to that plane, this energy to that energy. It is just our mere imaginations and nothing else. Like the imagination of the boy who sees a stump of a tree as a ghost because he was told so. So get rid of these imaginations and realize the nature of yourself and become free from these limitations of gross body, subtle body and all the likes. Thank you, Dr. Chattopadhyay. And after this, I have a question from Devojit, who is 34 years old from Borpeta Road. He writes, Pranam Swamiji, I have a question that what will happen of our soul after death? I mean, where does our soul go after that? It has been already discussed at length that the soul does not go. The soul does not go anywhere. In order to go means to travel. So traveling means changing position, from going from this point to that point. So if a person A travels from X to Y position, that means he is present at the point X but absent at the point Y. But the soul or Brahman is omnipresent. It is present everywhere. So one who is present everywhere cannot travel, cannot go. It is impossible. So when we know that we are verily that Brahman, then we will see actually, that is what Swamiji said, how can you move? There is no movement at all. Then we will say, Swamiji, there are so many movements all across the world. You just go out in the roads, you will see so many movements. This is because we have imagined ourselves to be this physical body, and we see myself moving from here to there, running from one place to another. But one who has realized the nature of his self, the true nature of his self, he knows that actually I do not go anywhere. There is no chance or there is no way for me to travel or to move. It is very, very beautifully said in one place that once Shiva, he asked Parvati, we all know about Shiva and Parvati. So he asked his holy consort Parvati that where are you going? And Parvati replied that I do not go anywhere. Because How can the Atman go? Where is it not present? So, from the perspective of Advaitist, these questions like the going of the soul, coming of the soul, taking birth, or where we will go after death, all these questions are like babbling in the dream. In the dream, when I see that I am being chased by a tiger, I just babble, So all these things are like babbling in the dream. What does the Advaitist say? Come out of the dream. Because remaining in the dream, you can never have the solution. I remember when I first met Bhagavan, he was telling this very story, that if suddenly you are dreaming and in your dream you see a tiger chasing you and you cry out in your dream, tiger, tiger, what will your mother do? Will she give you a gun in your hand? I said, no. Then he asked, what will she do? I said, she will wake me up. Because if she gives me a gun in my hand when I am dreaming, it would be quite chaos. What we wish or what we want is to have solutions in the dream. The only solution is to wake up from the dream, to have this transcendental awakening. And once we wake up from this dream, as told by Swami Pavitranandaji, that this world that we see is a long and protracted illness. It's a long dream that we are dreaming. And we want our solutions in the dream. I can never have the solution in my dream. Why? Because if I cry out, tiger, there is a tiger, please give me a gun. And if really one who is awake gives me a gun, it will be horrible. What will the person do? He will just wake me up. No sooner do I get up, all the worries, all the troubles, all the problems are gone forever. Then I will say, I don't, and then if he comes with a gun, now come, this is the gun, shoot the tiger. I will say, where is the tiger? Whom to shoot? Because there was never any tiger. I was dreaming. It was in me. The tiger, where was the tiger? In the forest? No, it was in me. So, even after waking up, if I get a gun, I will just laugh that I don't need any gun because there is no tiger. Whom shall I shoot? Similarly, when you wake up from this long and protracted illness, this long dream, then we will laugh at ourselves that, oh my God, what I was doing all these days. What I was doing. And then if someone says, now come on, tell me what solution do you need? I will say, I don't have any problems. I don't have any problems, so I don't need any solution. This is the only solution. But sadly, what we want is that we want light and also we want the darkness. This can never be. These two can never exist at the same time. Light and darkness can never exist at the same time. What we want is this transcendental awakening. You cannot have a solution according to your mind because you are dreaming. That is why the self-realized person, the guru, he wakes you up. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. And I will be telling, I have so many problems. He just goes on telling, come on, wake up. And you go on telling, oh, I have so many problems, you don't know. You cannot imagine these and that, my family, my friend, my this, my colleague, my job. And he just goes on telling you, and you want a solution for each and every problem that you have. With your wife, with your job, with your parents, with your this, with your that, with your neighbors. so many problems and you want so many solutions, but he wants to give you one single solution that will solve all your problems. And what is that? He goes on to wake you up. Come on, get up from your dream. And you babble in the dream, no, I have so many problems, you don't know, you don't understand. And he will be eager to just wake you up. Once you wake up, and the moment you wake up, you see all your problems are gone forever. Why? Because all those problems were in your dream. And then when the Guru says, come on, which problem to solve? You laugh at him, you laugh at your own self, you laugh looking at him that, oh Gurudev, oh Guru, how beautiful you are. With the single stroke of knowledge, you have finished all my problems. You have solved all my problems forever. And that is why Bhagavan beautifully says that my Guru has solved all my problems forever. There is no problem of mine anymore. Because the Guru wakes you up. So the only solution that you need is to have this awakening, this transcendental awakening. Thank you, Devajit, for your question. Now I have a question from Bagus from Indonesia. He asks that in Guru Vandana there is a sloka that says, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. It means we should struggle to obtain Guru's grace. How is the way? Yes, Bagus, thank you for your beautiful question. And just as we were talking about Guru, that this is the grace of the Guru. We actually go and yes, by the sloka, by the words that Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa, it means that it is by the grace of the Guru that one is liberated. But liberation means it's not something which is given to you. Liberation means something which is taken away from you. What is taken away? We think that Guru will liberate me, that he will give me something. Actually, he doesn't give you something. The reality is, he takes from you. What does he take? He takes away the layer of ignorance. Because you are verily that Atman, which is of the knowledge, which is of the nature of knowledge, absolute, existence absolute, consciousness absolute, bliss absolute. So you are already that. So what is the grace of the Guru? He takes off the veil, he takes off the layer of ignorance, and that is the grace of the Guru. And how does it do it? As you said, how to obtain it? The way to obtain it is that you have to hear from him. You have to go to him. You have to offer your prostrations. You have to be humble. Because you want a solution. If you really want a solution, you will be humble. Like when we go to a doctor, we automatically become humble. Why? Because I am suffering. That is why I came to you. I go to the doctor because, not that I am very happy, because I am suffering. That is why I came to you. So we have to approach the Guru with humbleness. That, oh Guru, I am suffering. There are so many problems. I want a solution. But as I said, the problem with us is that we want different solutions for different problems. But the fact is, there is only one problem and there is only one solution. What is the problem? That I am dreaming. What is the solution? To wake you up. And that's why our Upanishads beautifully says, in the Kathopanishad it has been beautifully said, Uttisthata Jagrata. Arise, awake. That means you are sleeping and you are dreaming. All these things that we say, this problem, that problem, I am troubled with these, I am fed up with that and these and that. These are all like the babbling in the dream. The Guru never pays heed to those. And at times we become frustrated. Oh, Guru is not hearing this. He knows that it is not true. So why will he hear? But to me it is so true that I want to make him realize that, oh Gurudev, this is my problem, this is my problem. And as very beautifully it happened with Bhagwan. As Bhagwan says, when he went to Swami Pavitranandaji, there were many devotees coming to him, as happens with all the gurus. So all the disciples come, and what do they think? That the Guru will solve my problem, but there is a condition. He will solve the problem in my own way, not according to his own way. So devotees came to Swami Pavitranandaji, and they used to tell Pavitranandaji about their problem. So my son, my daughter, my wife, my husband, and these and that, my job, my colleagues, my neighbors. And Pavitranandaji used to stop them. Stop. And he went on, he used to say, hear Vedanta. Listen to Vedanta. Listen to what I am telling. But the devotees, what do they want? I want my solution in my own way. But the Guru knows that whatever you are telling is like the child shouting in the dream. There is a ghost, there is a ghost. There is no ghost. You are dreaming. So what does he say? Listen to Vedanta, what I am telling, listen to it, because this will help you to wake up from your dream. And once you wake up for good. There are no more troubles. There are no more any problems. So he gives a unique solution, such a solution after which there remains no problem for eternity. So we have to approach the Guru with all humbleness and pray to him that, oh Guru, I am suffering. Please show me a way. And I ask him about spirituality. And then seeing my earnestness, seeing the desire to really solve my problem without any condition, not giving any condition. Okay, you have to solve the way, you have to solve my problem, but in this way. No. You have to surrender. What is the meaning of surrender? Like when we go to the doctor and the doctor gives several tests and then says, oh, you have a heart blockage and for that we need a surgery. So will I say, okay doctor, do the surgery in this way? He will never listen to me. At best he will say, then you please go to some other person. I am not able to do that. I will be doing the surgery in my own way. So we understand this, but we don't understand a greater meaning, that Guru is someone who is going to solve my problems forever for good. But we give him conditions. Oh, you have to do this, but in this. Oh, Gurudev, you don't understand. Actually, he has understood what he needs to understand from his Guru, from his own Guru. So we have to surrender, like going to the doctor. That okay, I need a solution, that's it. So with all humbleness, with the earnestness, with the seeking, go to the Guru, approach the Guru, offer your prostrations, show your earnestness, and then he will go on to tell you about the real nature of yourself, which will help me to overcome this long and protracted illness, this dream, and we will wake up. So this is what is meant by the grace of the Guru. With this, I end today's live session. There were many more questions, but I'm afraid I could not take them because of lack of time. We will be again back with you on Thursday with our Bengali live session. Keep on seeking, keep on reflecting, keep on listening, keep on contemplating. Try to realize the self, that you are the permanent, the immutable, unchangeable. You are of the nature of existence, knowledge and bliss absolute. You are beyond birth and death. And all these heaven and earth and hells are just imaginations. Get rid of these imaginations and be free. Namaskar.